robots, they will take over and kill us. There's no doubt about it. If we start putting drones everywhere, it's going to seal our own doom. It's almost like we can't wait until we destroy ourselves. You know, we just can't wait until we literally obliterate ourselves off the planet. This is what seems to me is going on. Mankind has such a fascination with technology, and I think about this. You know, they come out with something like the iPhone, okay, and these little handheld, massive amounts of microprocessing technology right here in my hand. More so than I ever dreamed of when I had a Commodore VIC-20 computer with 3.5 kilobytes of memory. Buddy, that was a lot. I couldn't believe that computers would hold that much. I thought they would hold the world. And Steve Jobs comes up with this concept. It starts out as an iPod first, and then an iPod Touch, and then the iPhone. And Steve Jobs and all his people conceptualize this stuff. But then what happens is that it's when it's handed into the hands of people that are using it, we take stuff like this and we're going, I wonder what we can do with this. And we try to push the limits of what we can do. And then the next step comes out, which is going to be in a more advanced phone than this. And then we're going to push those limits, and it's just going to keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. And so a few years ago, you understand the military's probably been working on this technology for years. The ability to surveil enemy territory or whatever, without detection, without being noticed, without sending guys in with binoculars and I can't remember the suit that they wear, but laying out there, you know, with the binoculars and the hearing device and calling stuff in and everything like that. Well, that puts lives in danger. And so they've been working on drone technology, and now that the drone technology is out, it's into the hands of the common people who are going, I wonder what we can do with this. I wonder what we can do with this. So Time Magazine puts this article out called The Rise of the Drones. They are America's global fighting machines. What happens when they are unleashed at home? And they list in here several types of drones. You have the AR drone built by the French company Parrot. It's four-rotored recreational drone with an HD camera. You control it using a tablet or a smartphone. I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking about buying one of them. They look cool. I mean, if you don't know what this is, type in AR drone at YouTube and go watch these videos. You'll go, I got to have one of those. I got to have one. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get one, and we're going to say, I wonder what I can do with this. That's how creative ideas come about. The Predator drones. Here's an interesting one. The Dragonflyer X6. Larger and more muscular than the Parrot, the Dragonflyer X6 is used by both hobbyists and for practical applications like law enforcement. Dragons flying over. You see, if you believe the Bible and you believe in these mysterious creatures that everybody says, oh, they didn't really exist. If you believe the Bible, this stuff makes sense to you. Dragons flying over your head, keeping their all-seeing eye on you, watching you at all times, just so that we're just going to be sure that you don't commit any crime. And if you look like you're going to commit a crime, we'll probably come out and pre-arrest you for a pre-crime that you pre-did. The movie, what was it, Minority Report, deals with that. The Switchblade drone, a 2-foot-long drone designed to be carried into battle, hand-launched and then guided into a sniper's nest where its built-in warhead detonates. That's just rude. I mean, that's just rude. The sniper's nest. The sniper has built a little nest up there. This is where he lives. This is where he eats. This is where he sleeps. This is where he toilets himself. And it's like sending a drone into somebody's bathroom. That's just rude. But that's what they're doing. You have the Sea Fox, a small maneuverable underwater drone that searches for and destroys floating mines. Last year, the Navy deployed it in the Strait of Hormuz. You have the Raven. That's interesting. The Raven made a cameo in the film Act of Valor. It's a backpackable drone that delivers real-time intelligence to soldiers in the field. And then we get into the scary ones. The long-endurance multi-intelligence vehicle. Basically, it's a helium-filled unmanned airship that can hover for 3 weeks at a time. In other words, here is a hovercraft that makes little to no noise at all. You'd never know that it was up there. You would never know that it was up there. And it can stay up there for about 3 weeks. I'm sure it has probably some sort of solar array that charges its batteries and so on, and built in with all these high-definition cameras that can see down into your shirt pocket to see how many cigarettes you've got left in the pack. And then we have, this is the scary one right here. Let's see here. The Nano Air Vehicle. Designed to mimic the appearance and aerial abilities of a hummingbird. DARPA's drone weighs 19 grams and carries a tiny video camera. You would never know that these things were there. And the article talks about how they are using these in law enforcement, local law enforcement constabularies, buying these drones so they can fly them around, surveil someone's marijuana stash or whatever it is. There was in our county several years, this probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, something like that. There was, we woke up one morning, and in our county, there was a helicopter crash and made big news. It happened just down the road from where my sister-in-law used to live. And they finally admitted that there was a helicopter that was being contracted by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department that had infrared cameras in it. And what they were doing, they were flying around at night with infrared cameras. They were looking for large amounts of heat coming out of people's basements at night, because that was a signature. If they found large amounts of heat coming out of someone's basement, that meant they were growing marijuana down in their basement. That's what that meant. And something happened, and the thing crashed. So this aerial surveillance is not new. It's just that now these local sheriff's departments, city police offices, and things like that are going to have they have the ability right now to spy on you, to follow you without you ever knowing it, without your knowledge whatsoever, watching and surveilling you and tracking you. And do they need what am I trying to think of? Do they need a court order for that? No, they don't need that. All they just need to do is follow you around and wait till they catch you on film doing something, and then they can come and bust you or whatever it is. But aside from that, the connectivity of all the computers together now. If you've seen the show Person of Interest, is it totally out of the realm of possibility that there already exists in this country, or we are close to having it, a total surveillance system whereby you can use the collective computing power of every computer in the country to surveil literally everybody in just about every detail of their lives. Something that I know about this much about, because we do video rendering here, is that with the software we use, Vegas Pro, you can set it up to where you can set different computers up as part of what's called a rendering farm. In other words, you can network several computers together, and their collective computing power together will speed up the rendering process. This is how they make these high-end graphics in these CG movies. I remember watching a documentary about the making of Jurassic Park. This was one of the groundbreaking CG movies that was out there, and they showed this room that was just full of these desktop computers. They were all linked together, probably by a Unix or a Linux operating system or something like that, and they were using the collective CPU ability of all of these computers to render all these dinosaurs and things like that. Well, you have a situation now where you would have a central thinking computer that, because most every computer, handheld device, phone, tablet in this country is connected to the internet almost at all times, you have the ability to harness the power of every one of those computers to harness your laptop. Your laptop has got a camera, and it's pointed at you every time you raise the lid. Gary got a laptop. He went and got a roll of duct tape and duct taped the camera. Gary, you didn't get the microphone. You're still listening. And so this is what we're doing. We got cameras everywhere, cameras on the street corners, cameras in all the stores, cameras everywhere. We're carrying them around in our shirt pocket. We're carrying cameras right here. My tablet has got a camera on it. I'm looking into my tablet. It's looking back at me. Surveillance everywhere. Here is an article. This says, a creepy nationwide network of spy cameras will transform America into an Orwellian prison camp. Absolutely. Most Americans will read this and think that they do not have anything to worry about since they do not live, and this features the show Person of Interest, and since they do not live in New York City. Well, if you're thinking that right now, you would be dead wrong. As mentioned earlier, a new nationwide network of spy cameras is being rolled out all across the United States. This surveillance grid is reportedly going to cover every major U.S. city and every major high-value target in the country. An RT article was published on Friday and revealed some absolutely shocking details about this new program. Former senior intelligence, that's debatable, by the way. Former senior intelligence officials have created a detailed surveillance system more accurate than modern facial recognition. By the way, watch this, okay? I noticed this when I first got an iPhone. I pulled up the camera app, okay, and I aim it. And I know you can't see this, but as I aim this camera at my image up on the computer screen, it draws a green square around my face. This camera instantly recognizes my face. It does. And so you submitted a picture. You took a picture of somebody, or you got on Facebook or some social networking thing and you submitted a picture. They know who you are now. There was of your face, and it's got your name, your email address, your phone number, your GPS location. Everything about you is in that picture, and they databased your face, buddy. Your face has been reduced to numbers. And so you think, well, okay. But then you go to Kmart, or you go to Walmart, or you go to Kroger's, or you go to Safeway, or you go to the license office, or you go anywhere. You go through the airport. You go anywhere. You're driving down the street, and you stop at a stoplight, and you look up, and there's a red light, and there's something looking down at you. Well, what is that? It's a camera hooked up to the system. And because these are so interconnected now, you can almost guarantee that there is a central system somewhere that has been fed all of the collective information from every camera, cell phone, tablet, computer, laptop, Facebook, Twitter page, every place out there with as much information as they can possibly collect on you. And they have the digitized replica of your face. Your face now is a number, and that number belongs to you. And they're watching you. And they watch your face as you walk from this store to that store over there. They watch you, and they